All right, good afternoon, everybody. Um, let's go ahead and get started. Grab anything you need, water, um, if you want that block. We're just gonna start in any comfortable seat. So if that's cross-legged, that's fine. If you wanna bring the bottoms of the feet together, that's an option. If you have a really hard time sitting cross-legged, if you feel like those knees are way up here, just come around and you can even sit on those knees like so, and then if you want, you can also sit on a block too. So that's another option if this option is too much on your knees. So just a couple of modifications for you there. Right, so once you've found that comfortable seat, you go ahead and close down those eyes, resting those hands on those knees wherever they might be. Taking that really big breath in through the nose. Pulling a little bit more air. And exhale it out. Big breath in. And exhale. Again, continuing really big breath in, pulling as much air as you can. Then that breath as it moves up the spine, sitting up even taller, pulling a little bit more air. And exhale it out. So really slowing down that exhale, trying to make that exhale as long as possible. And continuing that breath, that really full, complete inhale. You can expand those lungs as much as possible. And then exhale that breath out as slow as you can. And we'll start to reach those fingertips out to the side. Go and flip those palms as we reach those arms up overhead. And on that exhale, we're going to twist it over to that right side, sitting up tall on that inhale. Exhale, finding that deeper twist. And inhale, bring it back to center. Reach the arms up. And exhale, twist it to the other side. Inhaling that length. And exhale that twist. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. We'll find that side bend over to the right side. Inhale it back up and exhale it to the left side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, draw those elbows down. Open up the chest. Really feel like we're trying to pull those shoulders back. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, we'll lower those hands down as we fold. Pause it just for a breath. Grounding through those hips. Lengthening through that spine. And then walk those hands back. Okay, we'll do this 2 more times. Reaching the arms up. Exhale it to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. Side stretch to the right. Inhale it up. And side stretch to the left. Inhale, reach it up. Draw those elbows down. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, fold. And inhale, we'll walk the hands back as we reach the arms up. And twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, reach it up. Side stretch to the right. Inhale, back up. And to the left. Good. Reach it back up. Drawing those elbows down. Open that chest. Reach it back up. And exhale those hands down. And then sliding those hands back. Going to switch that cross of the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up. So this time we're going to twist it to your left side first. So tall on that inhale. Exhale, a little more into that twist. Inhale it back up. And exhale, we'll twist it to the other side. Inhale, reach it up. We'll side stretch it over to your left. Inhale those arms up. And exhale it to the right. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, pull those elbows down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walk it back up. Reaching those arms up. Again, twisting it over to that left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, back up. Side bend to the left. Inhale it up and to the right. Inhale, reach it up. Pull the elbows down. Reach it up and exhale the hands down. Inhaling, we'll slide those hands back up. Last time through, twist it to the right. Inhale, center. To the left. Inhale, center. Side stretch. Inhale it up. Other side. Inhale, reach it up. Draw the elbows down. Inhale it back up and lower those hands down. Good. Inhale, walk it back up. From here, just go ahead and roll over onto those hands and knees. Hit that tabletop position. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, we'll round that spine, press the shoulder blades away, draw that belly up and in. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Good. Bring it back to neutral spine. Sliding those hands forward as far as you can, keeping those hips stacked above those knees. We grip those fingertips into the mat. Pull those hands and forearms towards each other as we soften that forehead or maybe that chin down towards the mat. Soften that chest, feeling that stretch through that upper back. And now we'll slide forward onto those forearms, stepping those feet back to our plank. Core is nice and tight, squeezing those legs together, breathing. Pulling that chest forward just slightly. We'll hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Soften those hips down, point those toes, draw those elbows back as we lift up through the crown of the head. So think about pulling the shoulders down and back, really long through that neck. We don't have to lift our head up. We almost want to tuck the chin slightly, keeping that neutral neck position. And just feeling that extension through the spine. If it's a little bit too much, you can always bring those elbows forward a little bit more. That kind of takes the pressure out of it, but same idea. So pull those elbows back as we lift up through the top of the head. Then one more breath. And we'll soften it down. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders as we send those hips back into that child's pose. Again, those knees can be as wide as you would like. And then bring it back up onto those hands and knees. We're gonna step those feet back to our plank. So we'll be on a hand plank this time. Okay, those legs stay nice and strong. Okay, we're pulling that chest forward just slightly, but as we do so, we don't want those hips to drop. Okay, we wanna keep them in that nice straight line. Okay, looking at the top edge of your mat so the neck is neutral. Gripping those fingertips into the mat. Really, really tight. Fingers, the core, the legs, the glutes. Even try and thinking about pressing the heels of the hands into the mat, pulling back, then pressing the toes into the mat, pulling towards your hands. That one more breath. Good, and exhale, sending those hips back to the sky into that first down dog. So take a moment, pedal those feet out, sway the hips, any movement that you need. And maybe you just find that stillness, really press that belly back to those sides, press that tailbone up to the ceiling as we press those heels down towards the mat. One more breath. And then inhale on the toes. Bend into those knees as we step those feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhaling the half lift. And exhale, fold. And inhale, bend into those knees, rise all the way up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Good. Exhale, we're gonna flip the camera. Exhale, we'll bend it over to your right side. Inhale it back up. Then exhale it over to that other side. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, find that fold. Inhale the half lift. And exhale it down. Planting those hands as we step those feet back to our plank. Then lower it down. Again, inhale, lift that chest, cobra or up dog. Then exhale, we'll send those hips back to the sky, downward facing dog. And inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet, top of the mat. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, bend it over to the right. Inhale it up to the left. And inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, fold. Inhale the half lift. And exhale, plant those hands. Step those feet back. Lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhale those hips to the sky, down dog. Go one more time through. Again, inhale on the toes. Bend the knees, step or hop those feet. Flat back on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale it back up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, reach it up tall. And exhale, fold. Flat back on the inhale. And exhale. Planting those hands, stepping those feet back as we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale those hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Pause it for a couple breaths. You want to go into that child's pose. That's an option too. And then inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step those feet up, top of the mat. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Bring those feet a little bit close together, maybe even bringing the toes together to touch. Heels can be slightly separated, and then just drop those hips down into that chair. So if it's a little bit too much, keeping those arms up, you can always bring those hands to heart center. It's sinking those hips a little bit lower, keeping that nice flat back. Breathe it here. Okay, now as we rise up, we're gonna bring all the weight to our right foot as we pull that left knee up to our chest. So core is nice and tight. Maybe you just have that foot a few inches above the ground, okay, in case you need to put that toe down for support. Or if you challenge yourself, really pull that knee up as high as you can, really using that core to lift the knee really strong through this leg. One more breath. And we'll take that step back into that warrior one. So if you adjust those feet a little bit, you can. You want them to be slightly staggered. So you can pull that right hip back, left hip comes forward, really strong through this back leg, and then reaching those arms up. Okay, one more breath. And we'll draw those elbows down. Interlace those fingers, open up through that chest. Bend into that front knee a little bit more. And then exhale, fold it forward. So maybe bring that rib cage to that inner thigh. Maybe that shoulder comes all the way down to touch the knee. Okay? Or maybe you're just hovering here. Inhale, release it as we bring it back up. Straighten that front leg out. So again, don't lock it out. Slight bend in it. Keep those hips square. Reaching the hands forward, then lowering the hands down to the shins, maybe down to that ankle. Pulling that right hip back, left hip pivots forward. And then we bend into that knee, reaching those arms back up. Stepping the feet forward, and then sink those hips right down into that chair. Again, you can bring those hands down to heart center if that's more comfortable on the shoulders. Those hips out as low as you can. And then as we rise up, we're gonna bring all the way into that left foot as we draw that right knee to the chest. So again, if you wanna just hover the toes, you can. Maybe you challenge yourself to really bring that knee up towards that chest, flexing that foot, strong through that standing leg. Now we'll take that big step back into that warrior one stance. So the toes are turned up just slightly, nice and straight through this back leg, holding that right hip forward, left hip back, arms reach up, sink into that front knee a little bit more. And now draw those elbows down, interlace those fingers behind the back, open up through that chest, and exhale, fold. Release those hands as we rise back up. Straighten out front leg, square those hips, reach the hands forward, lower the hands down to the shin, maybe all the way down towards the ground. Keep that back nice and flat. And then you can start to fold over that leg, getting a little bit more depth, a little bit more stretch. Good, then rebend into that knee as we reach those arms back up. Good, then we'll step those feet to the top of the mat and exhale, fold. Half lift on that inhale. And exhale, we'll plant those hands down, step those feet back. We're gonna move through a vinyasa. And exhale those hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Good, now inhale on the toes. Step those feet top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. And exhale, fold. And now we're gonna do a little bit more balance work. So bend into those knees, flatten out that back, rise up. Okay, we're gonna start with the weight on the right foot. Okay, if you need to bring a chair or something nearby to help you balance, you can, or maybe even a wall if that's accessible. Okay, but let's see, how many of you guys? So your weight is gonna be on your left foot. Okay, you're gonna draw your right knee up, grab onto that foot, pull the knees towards each other. Okay, now from there, we don't want to be really arched to that back. Hold that rib cage, hidden tailbone down. Okay, so notice your quads are a little bit tighter. Do that. Yes, there we are. If your quads are a little tighter, okay, your knee might come forward a little bit. That's okay. But again, keep that tight. Press that foot back into that hand. See if you can bring the knees maybe side by side, or maybe you can bring that foot back a little bit more. Don't lose the integrity of the low back. Okay, as we press that foot into that hand. Press it back a little more. And now relax a little bit and then try and pull that heel a little bit closer to your hip, to your glute. Again, press the foot into the hand and then really relax, pulling that heel closer to the body. So one more time, press. Good, and relax. Now we're gonna release that foot, cross that ankle over. So thinking that figure four, and then sit those hips back. And you can bring those hands to heart center. Okay, the closer we get that chest towards that thigh, the more of that stretch we're gonna feel it, but keep that low back nice and flat. Sinking the hips down a little bit more. Inhale, we'll rise back up, release it. We'll go to that other side. Okay, so again, now your weight's gonna be on your right foot as we draw that left foot up, capture the hand, knees will come together. Run this way, then draw that tailbone down, rib cage down, press that foot into the hands, extend it back a little more. Keep pressing, extending. And now from here, relax a little bit and try and bring that heel a little bit closer to that glute. Good, press that foot back. Good, soften, bring it closer. Good. Press it back. Good. Bring it a little closer. Last one, press it back. Good. And bring that knee a little closer. Then we'll release that foot. Take cross that ankle over. Send those hips back into that figure four. So hovering that chest just right over that chin. Back is nice and flat. Take the hips down a little lower. And then release it as we come up out of it. Just uncross it. Lower that foot down, reaching the arms up and back. And then lower the hands down as we pull. Finding that flat back. And exhale, plant those hands down, stepping those feet back as we lower down. Inhale, lift. And exhaling the hips up, downward facing dog. Pausing it here for a couple breaths. Now from here, use down dog, we're gonna step that right foot through and try and get that foot as close to that hand as you can. So we want that knee stacked pretty much over that ankle. The left hip is extended. Maybe we can point to those toes. Now, maybe you come onto those fingertips to give that nice flat back. Little lift through that chest, and then here we'll twist. Reaching that right arm up towards the sky. So that we'll lower that hand down, straighten that front leg, pull the toes back. Good, rebend into that knee, twisting, reaching that right arm up. Good, lower that hand down, straighten the front leg. Good, now rebend into that knee, twisting. Good, then unwind, straighten that front leg. Then we'll rebend into that knee. This time we're gonna reach those arms up overhead. So again, still working that front side of the leg, especially for that left leg. Rib cage down, pressing those hips forward, breathing. And go ahead and lower that hand, hands down. Step that foot back to our down dog. And then we'll go to the other side. So, excuse me, step that left foot through, back knee down. Again, we can come onto those fingertips to find that nice flat back, lifted spine. Then we'll twist, reaching that left arm up. Lower it down as we straighten that front leg, pull the toes back. Good, rebend as we twist. Then lower it down, straighten that front leg. Good, last round. Rebend, twisting. Lower that hand down, straighten that front leg. Now as we rebend into that front knee, we're gonna reach those arms up and back. Rib cage pulls down, tailbone pulls down as we press those hips forward. Staying with that breath. Together we'll lower those hands down, stepping that foot back to our down dog. As we breathe. And now from here, we're gonna step that right knee to that right wrist, foot slides across, sliding that left leg back. Okay, now from here, we're really gonna press into that right shin, pulling it back. So you're gonna start to feel this glute flex a little bit. Okay, then the left knee is gonna press down, pull forward. Okay, from here, stay elevated or keep your chest up, at least for a few breaths. Really strong through those hips. So your right knee pulls back, left knee pulls forward. Light on those fingertips. So finding that stretch, but also finding a little bit of strength in that position. Maybe you lift those hands up off of the ground. You can hold it here for a couple of breaths. And again, if that's too much, keep those hands down. Just an option if you want a little something extra. And from here, you can Soften it down, lower onto those forearms, maybe resting that head down. And then slowly come back onto those hands. Just switching sides, we'll send that leg back to that down dog. If you want to extend the leg up, maybe open up through that hip to bend that knee, you can. And then we'll go to the other side. We'll send that left knee to that left wrist, foot comes across. So again, we're gonna stay lifted through that chest for just a little bit to build a little bit of a strength in that position, just to get a little bit more mobility. So again, really pulling that left shin back. That right knee is gonna pull forward, getting light on those fingertips, keeping that core nice and tight. And maybe we can lift those hands up. And when you do so, try not to lean over to the side. Try and keep those hips nice and square. Breathing. Let's go 3 more breaths. Good, and relax into it as we lower onto those forearms. You can rest that head down. And make your way back up onto those hands. Go ahead and send that leg back to that down dog. Again, if you want to lift the leg, open up through that hip, bending that knee. And lower that leg down when you're ready. Just pausing for a breath. And down dog. And step those feet through, coming into that seat. And we'll make our way onto our back. So with a little core work, squeeze those legs together, reach those arms forward, rolling it back 1 vertebrae at a time. Try and go as slow and controlled as you can. And then we'll reach those arms overhead. Full body stretch from the fingertips down to those toes. And then we'll hug that right knee into the chest. We're going to take our right hand. We're going to bring it inside the knee, in front of the shin. We're going to reach for either the big toe or the outside edge of the foot. So we're going to come into a half happy baby. Now, if your hips are very, very tight, bend into this left knee, plant that foot down, and then we'll start to extend it like that. So a 90-degree bend in that right knee. Foot is flexed. Start with the bottom of the foot pointing up towards the ceiling. Now, if you can be in this position, and you can think about pulling that shoulder back down towards the mat, so that's going to pull that leg down. Think about like you're trying to pull that knee right outside that shoulder. Maybe if you're here feeling pretty good, maybe trying to extend that left leg out a little bit more. Active through this left leg, pressing through the heel and then pressing it down towards the mat. Okay, then maybe you can start to extend that right leg out a little bit more. And then go ahead and release that foot. Keep that knee bent and hugged into the chest. Just use that left hand to guide that knee across the body, finding that twist so you reach that right arm out, keeping that right shoulder grounded down. Maybe even looking over to that right hand. We'll bring that knee back to center. And planting that right foot down. So again, you keep that knee bent. Straighten yourself up, straighten your spine out if your hips kind of shifted to one side. Okay, then draw that left knee in. And that left hand is going to come inside the knee, front of the shin, reach for the outside edge of the foot. And you can even reach for the big toe. Sometimes it's a little bit more accessible. Now from here, with that 90-degree bend through the knee, through that foot, pull that shoulder back down towards the mat. You know, maybe you straighten that right leg out, really active through that right leg, pressing that foot, pressing through the heel, and pressing that leg down. Maybe we can extend that left leg out a little more. One more breath. You go ahead and release that foot. Keep that knee hugged in. And that right hand is going to guide that knee across the body as that left arm reaches out. Keep that left shoulder grounded down. So you come into this twist. Now bring that knee back to center. Go ahead and plant both feet down onto the mat. Okay, bring that low back to be flat on the ground, pressing into the heels, gripping those toes, just rolling those hips up one vertebrae at a time. Pressing through those heels, breathing. And then slowly roll those hips back down. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Press into those feet, lift it up. Slowly roll it down. Last time, press into those feet, roll the hips up. And roll it back down. And then we'll hug those knees in. Just gently rock from side to side. And we'll hey. We'll round that spine, bringing that forehead to the knees. It will extend those legs out, reaching those arms overhead, that full body stretch from the fingertips all the way down through the toes. And exhaling those arms down by the sides. Palms will face up as we completely relax and rest here for these next couple minutes. If you want to bring those arms a little bit wider, those legs a little bit wider, just being in the most comfortable position that you can be in. Relaxing through the jaw, the forehead, relaxing the shoulders and the hips. Just letting those toes fall open. Begin to deepen your breath. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reaching your arms overhead for that full body stretch from the fingertips all the way down through your toes. And then draw those knees into your chest. As we gently roll over onto your right side. And then gently press yourself up into that comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, just letting those hands rest on your knees. Just a few final breaths. So coming back to those really big breaths, big deep breaths in. Really slow and controlled exhales. And being in this space. Inhale those arms up overhead. Palms will meet as we exhale those hands to heart center. Angie, thank you all so much for being here. Have a great evening. Sorry about the distraction from my dog. And I will see you guys all tomorrow.